Hi, this is Michael Stevenson, president of Transform Destiny, the top NLP training company in North America, and I'm here with one of our trainers, Matt. How you doing, Matt?
Doing great. And about yourself?
Doing really well. So, Matt, everybody comes into NLP for different reasons and by different means. And some people are like, I know I want to be an NLP trainer. I know I want to be a practitioner. Some people are like, have just gone through rabbit holes and kind of ended up where they are. So, talk a little bit about how did you get interested in NLP and get to where you are now?
I got interested in it. I was a Reiki practitioner. I had a Reiki practice, and then an ad popped up for Learn Hypnosis, and I wanted to increase my ability to affect and help other people. So I went to the hypnosis class, and that's where I was introduced to NLP, and I signed up for a practitioner from that point.
I love it. Yeah, I mean, it's a similar story to me. I got into this as a hypnotherapist. Didn't really understand what NLP was until I, kind of got into that world.
Right. I didn't have any idea about it at all, and it was like, and once it was kind of explained to me a little bit in hypnosis, I decided, well, I can really help a lot more people now with this.
For sure. Now you had, it's kind of interesting for me seeing where people came from before they got to us. So you had a little bit of an interesting background.
Yeah. Originally, back whenever I was in high school, I started off as a machinist. I've done law enforcement, I've done construction, I've done assembly line work, went through and got an associate's degree in medical, and then I just left medical whenever you guys called me and said, hey, you want to come work for us?
Yep. And, a little bit of...
Also did magic for a lot of years.
Yeah.
So I've worked from birthday parties to cruise ships, and so.
I love it. Which, of course, there's a common theme of, the word magic in NLP. There's an old phrase that said, any technology that humans can't understand that we'll call magic. And, so I love that there's that theme, not real magic, but, The Structure of Magic was one of the first books written on NLP.
Exactly.
That's fun. So, at what moment did you know that, like, this is something that you wanted to do and you took the leap?
I took the leap, was a practitioner training with Ryan, and I was there, and everything just seemed to click. Like this, it now started to make more sense. I was like, okay, I can put the pieces together, and I said, this is direction I want to go.
I love it. So now you're not only a trainer for Transform Destiny, you also take clients. That's one of the things all of our trainers are required to take clients. Unfortunately, some people in the field, they get their trainer certificate without ever really seeing clients, and then they go out and try to train people how to use NLP, but we all take clients at Transform Destiny. So talk about that, the different kinds of things that you like to work with and how NLP and hypnotherapy has helped you.
My biggest place where I'm working now, my biggest avatar as we call it, is working in martial arts schools. And I come in and I do the hypnotherapy, releasing the fear, and anxious thoughts of their next competition.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. Very cool. Again, one of the things I always talk about with all of our trainers, usually an NLP trainer becomes a trainer and they're like the one person. If you're going to go train with that training company, you get one person only. And I think one of the things unique about our company is that we do have multiple trainers, and every trainer kind of has their own energy that they add to the training. Some people say that, one person's the nurturer and the other person's the, the cool person and,
right,
the intellectual kind of person. And so what do you think is your kind of personality that you bring into the trainings?
I'll be able to bring in the trainings. I'll be able to relate to just about everybody in there because I've probably done something close or close to what they have done in their life.
Yeah.
I'll be able to relate to them and I can speak their language.
Interesting, which is such an important part of NLP, right? Is meeting people in their model of the world.
Exactly.
Speaking to them in a way that they can relate to. And
exactly,
that's, that is the mark of a trainer, is being able to do that, to decipher kind of that. And it's nice when you have the natural resources to pull on to be able to connect like that. A lot of times when people come to an NLP training, they're really looking for like something that they can do to other people. And a lot of NLP schools actually teach NLP as like only a thing that you do to others. There are some people in the field that even brag that NLP doesn't work on them. I'm like, how could you teach something that doesn't work on you? It doesn't make sense, So, I think that one of the things that makes us different at Transform Destiny is that this is not just a professional journey for all of us, but has been a personal journey for all of us. I got into this first because I wanted to fix myself and understand myself. Most of the other trainers came in with a similar kind of a thing. So personally, outside of trainings, outside of the business stuff, how has NLP contributed to your life?
Actually, I got into it for the same reason when I went to practitioner. I had no intention of seeing clients just for NLP. I was just going to do Reiki and hypnosis, and NLP was just, I had to fix myself first.
Yeah.
And it allowed me to come back and reevaluate past decisions and see how I see them differently now.
It's so interesting. I believe, personally, that transformation work is leadership. Leadership means you're doing it yourself and other people want to follow you.
Exactly.
And I think that's such an important thing. And I think, for me, in my journey along the way, I was always looking for people who were walking the walk and before they talk the talk.
Exactly.
So, it's funny, you said that you had a lot of different things in your background. You did law enforcement, you did mechanical stuff, a lot of stuff that to me seems very logical and kind of mechanical in nature. There's an interesting leap where you went from those kind of careers to wanting to help transform people in different modalities. Elaborate on that a little bit and what caused you to kind of cross that bridge?
To cross that bridge? It was a deep inside feeling that I had for myself that I always wanted to help people. And that was the reason for law enforcement, I was helping somebody. I was a firefighter EMT. There was the helping people. That's what I really, really could see myself doing and wanting to do. Yeah. And it's just the feeling of, having that feeling inside of I've actually changed somebody's life. That was the biggest part for me to go, this is the direction I need to go. I guess you could call it a feeling that you had to have inside, but that's what it was for me, was this sense of gratitude when I was done after helping somebody. Yeah. And then I could see that their life was better, and they could, you could physically see it on their face that they were, even for that split second, just at least a little more happy.
Right. Did you sense when you were doing some of those other jobs, you like mechanical type of stuff, did you sense that there was a lack of fulfillment?
Right. It just felt it wasn't a career, it was a job. It was. I had trained for it and was going to do it. My plan was to do it for the rest of my life, but it just wasn't what I wanted to do. I wanted to help. That's when I started. Found out about law enforcement. I was able to get into that field, and that started me towards that journey. And looking back, I could say, well, now I could go back now and talk to the people in law enforcement and say, okay, now I can help you overcome these things.
Right. I know for me, as a computer programmer and the various other jobs, I did many jobs like you did, there was always this sense of I don't feel like I'm making a difference at all.
Exactly.
That I think more and more people, especially today, are really feeling that feeling of I want to make a difference in the world. I want to make a difference in other people. They just don't know the avenue.
Right.
And many times, for years, I wanted to be a psychologist. But I struggled through high school. I had a child when I was 20 years old. The idea of going to college, the means to do it, including time means, was very difficult for me. But in my mind, it was like the only way I can transform people is if I went and got a 4-year degree, or even longer than that, to get licensed as a psychologist. And then to discover something like this, that is, I didn't need a specialized degree. I didn't need a background in anything. But suddenly, I've got the tools to, really impact somebody.
What really was, I guess, my very first time to feel that in an honest feeling was I was as a firefighter, and I was on the fire scene, and we knocked the fire down before anybody got hurt, before the fire spread. And just that sense of fulfillment of and gratitude of being able to help somebody in that magnitude. So that was the kicking starting off point for me.
Yeah, right. And I would get little glimpses of that in my life. I'd have this job I did for 8 to 10 hours a day with no fulfillment, but then on the side I would get to do something for somebody and help them. And very often my friends would say I was the person they would come to when they were having a hard time, they needed somebody to talk to. And to now be able to do that as a career, get paid, not just get paid, but get paid really well for it. And that was such an open door for me. I had to walk through it.
Right. That's what it is. All my friends said, you were always so easy to talk to. And I never connected the dots until I became the transformer. I went to, hypnosis, and then to practitioner, master practitioner, able to connect the dots that's really what my calling was to do.
Yeah, and that feeling is nothing that can describe that feeling.
There's not enough words in the dictionary to describe that.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for taking some time to talk to us. And Matt is one of our trainers, so Matt is on the schedule. We're doing trainings in 26 cities around the U.S. and expanding there, so make sure you check the schedule and look for where Matt is going to be a trainer.